Hello students. In the last video we have learnt about the experiments related to the osmosis. Hope you have done the experiment using the potato and you would have observed the exosmosis followed by endosmosis. Children, let us continue with the next part of the lesson. As we know that osmosis is the diffusion of water molecules from a more dilute solution towards the less dilute solution across the semi-permeable membrane. So we have learned that until the number of molecules becomes the same, that is, number of water molecules become the same on either side of the semi-permeable membrane, the osmosis should continue. Now let us take an example. If you look at the number of water molecules, so blue coloration is nothing but the small sized water molecules, and the pink color represents the large sized sugar or a salt molecules. So according to osmosis, now let us take an example. This side we have around 9 water molecules. On the other side we have around 5 water molecules. So what we have learnt, so there should be a movement of water molecules till both the sides of the solutions have a same amount of water molecules. In the sense, there should be a movement of 2 molecules of water across a semi-permeable membrane, so that after some time this side we have 7 molecules of water, followed by again this side we have 7 molecules of water. Then we say that osmosis stops. So it means osmosis continues till the solutions on either side of the cell membrane or the semi-permeable membrane have a same number of water molecules. Children, practically that does not occur. Right? Now let us study. So, as usual, we have taken this setup. The mouth of the thistle funnel is tied with the parchment paper or a cellophane paper, which acts as a semi-permeable membrane, right? So water behaves as a dilute solution and sugar solution found in the thistle funnel behaves as a concentrated solution. Okay, so two solutions are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. I think in the earlier video we have learnt about when you leave this setup for about few hours, there is a increase in the level of water molecules, or you can say there is an increase in the level of the sugar solution inside the thistle funnel due to inward diffusion of water molecules from the beaker, where we have a dilute solution into the sugar solution, where we have a concentrated solution, thereby increasing the level of the sugar solution in the thistle funnel. Right, children? This is due to the osmosis. But you know, after some time the osmosis stops. after some time the osmosis stops. So you will never find the osmosis occurring after certain period of a time, right? Though you have more number of water molecules in the beaker and less number of water molecules in the Thissell funnel, that is in the sugar solution, even after that the osmosis stops. So you will find that there is an increase in the column of the sugar solution in the Thissell funnel, though it has increased, okay, but after some time it stops. It's because there is a pressure developed, there is a weight developed in the Thissell funnel which actually stops the osmosis. What do we call it? As an osmotic pressure. In the sense, the weight of this sugar solution in the Thissell funnel exerts a pressure on the parchment paper or on the cell membrane, which prevents the inward movement of water molecules across the semi-permeable membrane into the Thissell funnel, though there is less number of water molecules in the Thissell funnel compared to the water in the beaker. Or in a simple word, you can say that the osmosis stops even if there is difference in the number of water molecules on either side of the cell membrane, which is totally different from what we learnt in the theory. So practically it does not occur. So there is an osmotic pressure developed, right? So this can be proved by taking a airtight piston. So set up the experiment just like the earlier case, right? So as soon as you set up the experiment, try to place a piston, try to place the airtight piston. So we are going to place a apparatus known as a piston which has some weight, okay? So you're going to place this piston to the stem of the funnel, and this piston has some weight. It has some weight, right? So as soon as you set up the experiment, along with that you're going to place this airtight piston which has some weight into the stem of the Thissell funnel, right? As usual, we have a water in the beaker, sugar solution in the Thissell funnel, right? So there are more number of water molecules in the beaker, less in the Thissell funnel. Osmosis should continue and there should be increase in the level of a sugar solution, but this does not occur practically. So it means there is a osmotic pressure developed. Simple words, it's a pressure that prevents the osmosis, that nullifies the osmosis, does not allow the osmosis to occur, though there is a difference in the number of water molecules. So this light-weighted piston itself is sufficient enough to stop the osmosis. Children, the same phenomenon occurs even in the plants, right? So when the water keeps on entering from the root hair into the cortical cells and then into the xylem tissue, okay, so there is a weight or a pressure developed in this water column. So there is a development of a weight in this water column as it is moving upward. Okay, or you can say in the solution that has been collected in the xylem tissue, which can be compared to the Thissell funnel. So due to the weight developed in the Thissell funnel, okay, which exerts a pressure downwards towards the cell membrane so that there is no osmosis which occurs. So you can say that osmosis stops. So if you keep this setup even for about 2 or 3 hours, you will never find the osmosis occurring because of this piston which has some weight and it has stopped the osmosis. What do we call it as a osmotic pressure, right? So in a simple words, the weight developed in the column of the xylem tissue prevents the osmosis. What do we call it as a osmotic pressure has been developed. So how do we define the word osmotic pressure? Okay, so let us start. So osmotic pressure is nothing but the minimum pressure developed. So it is the minimum pressure. It's a minimum pressure that must be, it's a minimum pressure that must be exerted. See here, it's a minimum pressure that must be exerted to prevent the passage of solvent, that is passage of solvent into the solution when separated by cell membrane, or what do we call it as a semi-permeable membrane. Yes children, you have to write this definition as it is. There is one more definition given in the textbook. Okay, you are not going to learn the definition, you are going to learn this definition which can be asked for about 1 mark. So how do we define the osmotic pressure? Osmotic pressure is the minimum pressure. So it is a small pressure, a light weighted pressure that must be exerted, okay, to prevent, okay, that pressure prevents, that prevents the passage of solvent. So that exerts a pressure on the cell membrane which prevents the passage of solvent, that is water molecules from a beaker, passage of solvent into the solution, that is into the sugar solution found in the Thissell funnel, because when they are separated by a cell membrane or a semi-permeable membrane. So I'll repeat. So how do we define the word osmotic pressure? Osmotic pressure is the minimum pressure that must be exerted to prevent the passage of solvent, that is water, into the solution. It can be sugar or a salt solution when they are separated by the semi-permeable membrane, or when two solutions are separated by the semi-permeable membrane. So practically osmosis occurs only for some period of a time. After that it stops because of this pressure developed in the solution column or in the water column collected in the xylem tissue. Fine children. Now let us learn about one more concept known as tonicity. Children, tonicity actually determines the type of the solution. So depending on the type of the solution that is surrounding a plant or an animal cell, okay, that determines the direction in which the water is moving. It may be you will never find the movement of water molecules, or it is moving into the cell, or the water molecules are moving out of the cell. Children, let us learn this concept of tonicity. First we will learn the words, followed by later on we will learn the definition of tonicity. Fine. The simple meaning of tonicity means it is referring to the strength of the solution. That is, concentration of solution. And always the strength of the solution, you look at either water molecules or the solute molecules. We know that a solution comprises two parts, that is solvent, which is a liquid medium, followed by the solute, nothing but the solid particles which are dissolved in the solvent. So solvent is nothing but the water, solute is nothing but the sugar crystals, or it can be the salt also. So thus the solution comprises two components known as solvent followed by solute. Solvent is the water, which have a smaller size, which are small in their size, whereas solutes are nothing but the sugar or the salt molecules which are larger in their size. Children, here I have drawn RBCs in three different kinds of solutions. So I have represented RBCs in three different kinds of solutions, and I have shown the solutions, in terms of representing the molecules of water followed by sugar. So whatever the blue color molecules, they are nothing but the water molecules which are smaller in size, and pink color molecules which are larger in size represents the sugar or the salt molecules. Okay, now children, look at the first RBC and the surrounding solution. So it's an animal cell comprising the cell membrane, which acts as a semi-permeable membrane, right? So just look at so this is the outer solution which is outside the cell, and the solution which is inside the cell, that is in the cell sap of the vacuole. Right, children? Yes. I think let us count the number of water molecules followed by the solute molecules. So check. We have 3 molecules of sugar. We have 3 molecules of sugar and also 3 molecules of water. Right? So you can find 3 molecules of water followed by 3 molecules of sugar. So it means the number of water molecules followed by solutes are same on either side of the cell membrane. Or you can say the strength of the solution is same on either side of the cell membrane. Okay. So we call such solution as we name that solution as a isotonic solution. Children, what is the meaning of iso? Iso means same. Tonic represents the strength of the solution. So such solution is known as a isotonic solution. So what is the meaning of an isotonic solution? A solution in which the number of water molecules and solute molecules are same on either side of the cell membrane. Okay, due to which you will never find the osmosis occurring. Since you have a same number of molecules on either side, so we do not find the osmosis occurring. So you will never find the osmosis occurring in such a RBCs whose concentration of fluid within the cell is similar to the concentration of a solution which is outside the cell. Okay, now, so you will never find change in the size of the RBCs. There may be, no increase or a decrease in the size of the RBCs because there is no osmosis occurring, since the concentration of water and solutes are same on either side of the cell membrane. Right? Now, let us move on to the second diagram. Right? Let me name this as A, B and C. Fine, children. Look at the second diagram. Again a RBC. Right? Let us just count the number of water molecules followed by solutes. Right, children? So we will only consider on the outer side now than comparing with the fluids inside the cell. So let us see outside. So if you look at the outer solution, what do you have? You have, 1, 2, 3. That is a 3 molecules of solute. Okay, 3, 6 and 9. 9 molecules of water. Right? Compare within. Within you have a 3 molecules of water and 5 molecules of sugar. Right? Now, always you should consider the solution which is surrounding the cell. So if you look at the solution surrounding the cell, you can say that you have a dilute solution in the solution surrounding the cell. That is where you have a more number of water molecules and less number of solute molecules compared to the fluid inside the cell. Is it clear? So this solution, such a solution, we name it as a hypotonic solution. Hypo refers to less, tonic refers to the strength. So it means here the strength of the solution is very less, which is pertaining to the solute molecules. So since the number of solute molecules are very less outside the solution and more of water, we call it as a hypotonic solution. But children, whenever you define the term hypotonic solution, try to define with reference to the solute. So how do we define the word hypotonic solution? A solution in which the solute concentration is less compared to the fluids inside the cell. Right? So In that condition, what happens? Since there are more number of water molecules outside, there is an inward diffusion of water molecules which is occurring, due to which the size of the RBC increases. So what do we call it as? There is an endosmosis which occurs. So in this condition you find the endosmosis, where there is an inward diffusion of a water molecules from a more dilute solution towards the less dilute solution, due to which there is a increase in the size of the cell. What do we call it as? A swelling of the cell. Right, children? Okay. Now, there may be a state where the RBC reaches, in which, children, in fact, the RBC may rupture out. The cell membrane of the RBC will rupture out. It may rupture out after increasing in its size, and all the cellular contents will be thrown out of the RBC. So it loses all its cytoplasm. Everything will be thrown out of the RBC once it bulges after continuous inward endosmosis. Okay. So when the cell membrane cannot hold any more water, when the pressure is so much, okay, the cell membrane ruptures and all the cellular contents will be thrown out of the RBC. Fine, children? Okay. Now, let us move on to the third one, right? So, quickly, I think you can guess. Look at the number of solute molecules. So, the number of solute molecules are around 4 plus 8 solute molecules, and number of water molecules are around 5. So definitely if you look at the number of solutes, so look inside you have around 4 solute molecules and many number of, you can say many number of water molecules. Alright, I said every time look at the solution which is outside the cell membrane or the cell. So this solution we name it as a hypertonic solution. Hyper means referring to more. The meaning of a hyper is more. Tonic is the strength. So in this case the strength of the solution is more. Why? Because the solute concentration is more compared to the fluids inside the cell. Right? So how do we define the word hypertonic solution? It's a solution in which the concentration of solutes is more than the fluids inside the cell, that is in the cell sap. Right? In such condition, since we have more water molecules inside, the water molecules move out of the RBC, right, into the surrounding solution. Since there is a outward diffusion, we name that as a exosmosis, right? And due to the exosmosis, what happens? The RBC will lose its shape. RBC will lose its shape. So it loses its shape. Okay. So it becomes highly irregular. It becomes highly irregular. It shrinks by the loss of water through the cell membrane into the surrounding solution, where the RBC loses its biconcave shape. It becomes a shapeless RBC. Right, children? So thus, 3 different kinds of solutions determine the direction in which the movement of water should take place. Right? So we call this as a tonicity. So how do we define the word tonicity? Yes, children. In this case, no osmosis. In this case, there was an endosmosis. In the third case, there is an exosmosis. Right? So, how do we define the word tonicity? Yes, the relative concentration of solution. The relative concentration of solutions. Right, that determines the direction and the extent of diffusion. Children, how do we define the word tonicity? Tonicity is defined as relative concentration of solutions. Now look at this. The concentration is same. So no osmosis or no diffusion of water molecules. Here outer solution is a hypotonic solution. Hence the water moves in. Outer solution is a hypertonic solution. Hence the water from the cell moves out. So try to read the sentence. The relative concentration of solutions, that is the concentration of solutions on either side of the cell membrane, relative concentration of solutions, that determines depending on the concentration of a solution, that gives the clue, that determines, that gives away the direction. So that helps us to know in the direction in which the osmosis is occurring or the diffusion of water molecules is occurring. So how do we define the word tonicity? Very easy to remember. Relative concentration of solutions that determines, see, first D, that determines the direction, second D, and the extent of diffusion. So you have three words starting with D, right? So how do we define the word tonicity? So tonicity is defined as a relative concentration of solutions on either side of the cell membrane that determines the direction and the extent of diffusion of water molecules is known as a tonicity. Is that clear, children? So this is about the RBC, which comes in contact with three different kinds of solutions. Right? How about the plant cells? How about the plant cells? Do you find the same changes in the plant cells? Can you guess? I said RBC, when it is placed in the hypotonic solution, it swells up, and after some time the cell membrane ruptures and all the cell contents are thrown. Right? But this does not occur in the plant cell because the plant cells have a unique feature. What is that salient feature? The plant cells have the cell wall. Plant cells have a cell wall which is a rigid layer, okay, which lies just beneath the cell membrane, okay, due to which you will never find the contents being thrown out of the plant cell, or even if the plant cell shrinks, it is not observed clearly as we find it in the animal cell. So that is a special feature of the plant cells, which I will teach you in the next video. Okay, now in fact, the condition of the swelling, we also use the word turgidity or a turgid cell, right? When it shrinks, we use the word flaccid condition. So all these conditions I'll teach you in the next video. Thank you.